Once upon a time, there was a kingdom named Vimsala. King Kadambara ruled over Vimsala and had 2 wives. The first wife, Sumati, queen of the throne, had a son called Nanda, who was 15 years old. Their marriage was arranged by their elders. The second wife, Kunchala, also had a son who was 4 years old, and she was known for her exceptional beauty. A few years back, when the king went for hunting, he encountered Kunchala in a village and was captivated by her beauty. Despite her arrogance, the king married her and brought her to the palace. He deeply fell in love with Kunchala and neglected the queen, as did the rest of the servants and ministers in the kingdom. Slowly, Kunchala became an important person in the palace. The queen's son, Nanda, who was actually the crown prince, was also treated very badly because of Kunchala. Since Nanda was very well educated and obedient, he never complained about the circumstances. Only during big occasions did she perform the rituals along with the king. The rest of the time she remained in her chambers. In the kingdom there was a merchant who supplied the best fabric for the queen and the king. The second queen called the merchant and ordered him to get her the best dress in the whole kingdom. Next month, the king and queen would perform a big ritual, and the whole kingdom would come to see it. She wanted to wear the best dress on that occasion, so people could see her importance in the palace. "I will give you 1,000 gold coins. Get me the best dress that no one has ever had." The merchant took the gold coins, and after a month, he returned with the best dress with a beautiful pattern. The dress was embroidered with gold threads and looked stunning. Kunchala looked more gorgeous and stunning in that dress. Kunchala gave him 200 gold coins as a reward, since he put the best efforts into the dress. The news spread throughout the palace, and the queen also heard about the special dress embroidered with golden threads. The queen visited the king's chamber and requested the same dress as the second queen for the ceremony. Since she had not received any allowances for a very long time, she didn't have any money left. "So get me the same dress as the second queen got." The king got angry and said, "She is more beautiful than you. She looks beautiful in any dress. But you, Sumati, you have become old. You look the same even though you wear more expensive dresses than Kunchala. Just leave from here. I don't want to see your face. Do you have any idea how difficult it is for me to see you as my wife? It disgusts me." The queen was very depressed. The ground under her feet was shaken by the king's words. She returned to her chamber and started crying. She felt so depressed that she wanted to end her life. The queen's servant, Lila, tried to console the queen. Lila told Sumati, "Nando Rajo Bhavishyathi," which means Nanda is our future king. Sumati understood Lila's words. Lila suggested that they should buy the dress now on credit and pay the money after 6 months with interest. Sumati asked, "I have been living in this hell for a very long time. What will change in 6 months? How can we get the money to pay for the dress?" Lila continued, 6 months is a very long period. Anything can happen. Maybe the merchant who travels on oceans may not be able to return in 6 months. Or our king will change his mind and start treating you with respect. Or our prince Nanda may become the king. Anything can happen. So, my queen, don't lose hope. The queen summoned the merchant and asked whether he had any more best dresses left. The merchant said yes. "Actually, I ordered 2 dresses with 2 different designs. One is embroidered with gold threads. The second dress is stitched with diamond studs on it. I showed the golden thread dress first and wanted to show the diamond studs dress later if she complained about the dress. Luckily, she was satisfied with the first dress, so I still have the second one. If you want, I can sell it to you, but this dress is more expensive than the one Kunchala had." The merchant showed the dress, and its shine was like stars in the sky. The entire room shone brightly because of the dress. The queen asked the merchant, "Currently, I have no money for you to pay, but I promise you to pay the money for the dress after 6 months. As for security, my son Nanda will write you a promissory note. You can come back after 6 months and collect your money with interest." The merchant agreed immediately without any fuss. The queen summoned the prince and told him to sign the promissory note. Nanda signed the promissory note without uttering a word. When the merchant was about to leave, Laila contacted the merchant and asked him to submit a letter to the Kosala king, who was the father of Sumathi. The merchant took the letter and left. On the ritual day, Kunchala came to the ritual place along with the king, wearing her dress. The whole kingdom was there to see the ritual. Everyone started talking that the second queen is more powerful and influential than the first queen. She stayed by the king's side until the queen came to the place. She wants to prove to the whole kingdom that she is more suitable next to the king than the queen. The queen also came to the place. All the people were stunned and astonished by the presence of the queen. There was an aura when she was walking. Sumathi looked more beautiful and elegant than Kunchala. The king also surprised and couldn't take his eyes off the queen. All the people started murmuring that Sumathi is more beautiful and elegant than Kunchala. This word reached the king's ear, and he realized that Kunchala is more beautiful and elegant than his second wife. The king and the whole kingdom were looking at Kunchala until the ritual was over. The king realized his mistake, that he treated his wife very badly, even though she is a princess of Kosala kingdom. Because of his wife, the Kosala kingdom is protecting his kingdom from wars and enemies. On the same day after the ritual, the king received a message that the Kosala kingdom is no longer protecting Vimsala's border, since they are not treating their daughter well. They removed all of their soldiers from the border, so the enemy kingdoms are riding for war towards their kingdom. Kadambara realized his mistake, but it is too late to correct it. So he left with no choice but to go for the war. Kadambara is winning the war, but he got very injured. He wrote a letter to the Kosala king that he regrets his behavior towards his daughter and begged forgiveness. The Kosala king sent an army to support Kadambara in the war. In the end, they won the war, but Kadambara died due to many injuries. Later, Nanda became the king and repaid his mother's debt with tenfolds, since the merchant trusted the 15-year-old boy. In this story, Kadambara died solely due to his own negligence, not because of Laila's letter, the king of Kosala, or because of his affection for Kunchala. What Laila did was simply trying to protect her mistress, Sumathi. She sought support from Sumathi's father by informing him of her position in Kadambara's kingdom. Additionally, the king of Kosala intended to teach Kadambara a lesson by withdrawing his support for Vimsala. However, upon receiving Kadambara's letter, he promptly sent his troops to support the king of Vimsala. Furthermore, Kunchala, the second wife, who became a significant figure in the king's life, is not the reason for the king's death. It is natural for any spouse to ensure that their partner remains faithful, as nobody desires to share their life partner with others. In the end, Nando Rajo Bhavishyathi tells us that destiny works out how it's supposed to. Even when things are tough, the story shows that being honest, loyal, and doing what's right can win over challenges. We see from the characters that it's vital to be true to who we are and stick up for what's right, no matter how hard it gets. As we finish this story about kings and queens, it teaches us that what we do shapes our future, and the choices we make leave a lasting mark.